In all of our active shooter workshops, near the end of the workshop, particularly our community-based ones, we always discuss an important element of safety when out in a public environment, a work environment, anything like that. And that is the dangers of the crowd, the stampede, the mass stampede. It's always been a part of our training. It's kind of been broadened the past couple of years. The importance of it is very obvious. If you look around the world, if you look at any news things, if you had your eyes and ears open in the past 15, 20 years, it's nothing new. You see them at the World Cup events. There's often some type of riot, mass type of hysteria, and people are killed in that crush, in the stampede. Uh, the more recent, the more local tragedy here in the area, the Pulse nightclub fire. There's a significant stampede. The crush of people attempting to escape an area often causes quite a bit of damage and death, and sometimes more than the actual threat itself. So here we are today, just receiving reports of a mass death situation in South Korea. It appears to have been a Halloween type of celebration. And initially, even just an hour or two ago, I was hearing reports of 59 dead. And that number has increased to just over 120, up to maybe 149, 150 dead at this point. So we're waiting for more information to come back on that. What's important here for you, my friends out there, is to understand that in an emergency scenario, the me becomes more important than the we for the grand majority of people out there, unless you have training and you're thinking about the bigger picture. Now, for most of us, yeah, my life is more important than the person right next to me, particularly if you're out with friends and family. So you have to understand kind of how to conduct yourself in these large groups when you're out, and it doesn't have to be at a concert or some type of celebration. It can be at work. You could be shopping or at a movie theater. The reports are all out there for those type of situations. So I'll give you a couple tips. Number one, if you are in a large open area and you can gather your family, have them hold on to each other in a way that's secure, whether it's your belts, your wrapped arms, hands are slippery, they'll loosen up. As you're bumped, grips will kind of be released. So it's important to kind of have an idea of how you're going to hold on to each other. Don't just head towards the main entrance. Remember, psychologically, when we go into a place in an emergency, the first thing our minds are going to do is it's going to default to the place that we came into. So being aware of other exits is very, very important, because everyone else is going to go the same way that you're going. And that group of people, like I said, is often more dangerous than that actual threat, because they're not going to worry about you. If you fall down, no one's going to pick you up. You're going to get stepped on, or you're going to get crushed when everyone tries to funnel out through a small door. Next, try and find the nearest wall. If you're indoors in a concert venue or anything like that, you want to try and find your way to a solid surface. Now that might seem counterintuitive, as long as that solid surface isn't the actual egress point. One of the things that will help keep you safe is the fact that you only have pressure being applied to you from one direction. And then you can start moving along that wall towards wherever your point of egress appears to be. If you're stuck in the middle of a crowd, the crowd is going to move, and you're going to be jammed in the middle of it in whatever way that is going. You're not going to be able to fight that in the opposite direction. So work your way toward a side, toward a wall. And once you're at a wall, it's a lot easier, even if it's to reverse direction. If the crowd is moving this way and you're at a wall, it's easier to slide your way up that wall in the way that you perceive to be the safest exit for you, than to try and do it while you're in the group in the middle of 25, 50, 100, 400 people. Okay, those are just some quick tips to try and get into understanding how to kind of survive the stampede. There's a lot more to it that we can talk about it. We hold, like I said, we talk about it in our training sessions often, and we actually kind of scenario it out and work with each other depending on the size of the crowd that we have there. So hope this helps a little bit, just to help keep you in mind. These people, they didn't need to die like that. And no one really does. So my heart goes out to all the families and all those people that died, just trying to go out and have a good time. We don't know what the cause of that kind of crush happened. It could have been someone thought there was a fire. It might even have been an active threat, but we just don't know yet. We just know that a lot of people tried to move at one time in one direction, and a lot of people died. So be safe out there. Uh, this doesn't mean that you don't go out and try and have a good time. It just means kind of be alert and be cognizant of your surroundings and the amount of people in the area, and attempt to have a plan about how you're going about enjoying yourself and about how you're going to have to leave if something goes wrong.